avoid people driving their own cars out in the city.
Well, in Baltimore, they have gypsy cabs. Where if you go to Baltimore and you see somebody doing this on the side of the road, they're asking for somebody to just pick them up and pay them whatever.
Oh no, yeah,
they do that everywhere.
Correct.
I guess. But,
I do that sometimes when I was over there.
yeah.
So what I mean is, in order for you to drive cabin for Uber or for Lyft, you have to have a taxi license plate on it.
Right.
That's the rule in the city of New York over there. In Boston, there was one guy over there that asked for one of the Ubers over there. No, just regular license plate. Well, of course you have to go through all your paperwork, back up like you said, background check.
Yeah.
But it says no. Your insurance, everything is regular.
Well, I have extra insurance on my vehicle for this. I know that Uber has insurance while you're in the car. It's $1 million policy. And then when I'm driving outside of Uber, I have my personal insurance. But there's a time when you're on your way to pick somebody up for Uber, or when you're just driving around, and it's another insurance that the insurance company that I have offers. So I'm covered on all different phases. I have it's the in-between insurance with my insurance company, and it's relatively inexpensive as well, which really surprised me. But I guess it's only a few miles that you're driving on the in-between.
It's expensive. One taxi driver over there pay up to $500 a month for his insurance. People make money.
I don't know.
No, they do make their money because constantly they're busy over there, so.
Yeah.
It's just you just have to be out there, do a lot of hours just to make all that money. And especially with the insurance, you have to be paid. That's why a lot of cabs out there, they drive not only for Uber, they drive for them, Juno, and they also drive for private company cabs as well. So you may have one driver there, he's driving like for 5 different companies.
Yeah.
That's how they make the money. And the car doesn't stop.
Well, I do Lyft as well.
Guy, he finished his shift, 8 hours, he rent the car out to somebody else, they take another 8 hours. So the car is always running 24/7. That's how it is in the city. Like, wow, we use cars like we never see no gypsy cabs in a garage, no cab, nothing.
Yeah.
On the road, 24/7.
Look at this traffic. $6.95. Okay, well that's good. We're not going $6.95. We're going $8.95. Yeah, we're almost to rush hour time.
What's usually rush hour? 4 o'clock?
Usually starts around 3:30, 4 o'clock, somewhere around there. Gets heavy at 5. It's not usually this busy, but I guess it's because it's Friday. Everybody's trying to get out of town, so they leave a little early.
So it's supposed to be like a storm coming in today, right? Tonight? It's already passed.
It has not stopped raining for 5 days.
Oh, now over there in the city was burning with the storm, like 4 or 5 trees where I live at actually came down. I was kind of surprised. Big trees.
It literally started raining last Thursday, and it rained for 2 days, and then it stopped raining on Saturday and Saturday night, and it started back on Sunday, and I haven't seen the sun since Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I was looking at the news, a big storm coming over.
It just keeps building up. It comes up right up the East Coast, and just keeps building up.
There's a guy that was putting some pictures of hailstones falling down, and he grabbed a couple of them like the size of a baseball.
Yep.
Showed a picture of his car, windshield cracked all over the neighborhood. Wow.
You can get hurt by hail.
Yeah.
That stuff can get big. It can knock you out.
Yeah, he he had a whole bunch of them. We were like looking at them, like, oh, look how big those things are. And you could actually hear them when he was putting a video. Like somebody's actually throwing rocks at your house.
Yeah.
You can't remember. Like, oh, wow.
Yeah, blew some of the shingles off our roof, and now we've found out we've got some holes underneath there, and it started leaking in, so we've got to get a new roof on our house, which is never cheap.
The thing is, now it's had to happen. You got the wet day season coming in.
Yep. So we can be in backed up traffic, and then all of a sudden there's no traffic anymore. Where did all the traffic go? What happened to it? Hopefully it all went that way. So what part of New York do you live in?
Oh, I live in Manhattan, by the George Washington Bridge.
Is that pretty expensive to live there?
Well, I was born and raised there, so luckily for me, I live in the same apartment my mom had. So over there, I've only paid like about $500 for a full bedroom. Yeah, but that's good.
Wow.
It's like rent control. Mom been there since the 70s. But the same apartment on the same building I'm in, the top floor, which is on the fourth floor, I live on the third. They pay $5,000 for the same apartment.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, no, it's expensive in the city. It's expensive.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's not cheap. It's expensive out there. That's why a lot of people out there, they rent room, but they go into shelters. A lot of them go into shelter because that way, the city will get you a place, and after a year, they see you struggling, they just get you an apartment, everything, get you a job, and they just take some money out of your check to cover the cost.
I guess just regular jobs there pay pretty good money if it's that expensive to live. Do you?
Well, I mean, they cover usually. Let's say you get a minimum wage job, so you pay like about maybe $15 an hour. So you get like a $400 check. They most likely will take $100 out of your check, and the rest they'll give it to you, and they pay the rest of the bills with that.
Wow.
Yeah, the good thing about it is that once you're in that program, that's it. The government will pay for your rent. They will pay up to 70%.
How does the city afford to do that? That's got to be a lot of money.
That is the reason why they go over there giving everybody tickets. Tickets. Just 2 years. It wasn't big news. It was stop and frisk. That's what I was talking about.
Wow.
It wasn't news. For 10 years, it was just stopping people on the street for every single little thing, giving people tickets. Majority of them, 300,000 tickets in 1 year.
Jeez.
I'm like, yeah, that's ridiculous. And 80% of them is minority people that get those tickets. So it slowed down now. Now they're not really giving out much ticket. Now they release a new stat. They can only give out 30,000 tickets. Like, well, it's a big drop.
Wow.
Yeah, it's expensive over here in the city.
It's amazing to me that you can have 12 million people living in one area and have it be so expensive. You would think because there's so many people, it would be less expensive. But it just doesn't work like that in New York.
Everybody wants money. And then Everybody wants to be in the city. Because it's true. You live in New York City, you don't need a car.
That's
you get
true.
A bus on a train, it takes you anywhere in the city you gotta go to.
Yeah, you couldn't afford the parking for a car.
No, the parking's over there. The cheapest parking you could get, like your mom's and pop's store, maybe $10 a day.
That's only $300 a month.
Yeah. So, if you find empty ones, they're usually all crowded.
Yeah.
Then you go to the regular ones, you're paying like about $30-40 a day. In downtown, they were charging $16 for half an hour. Yeah, park your car here. Half an hour, $16. But I just pay somebody an hour, minimum wage, just stand out there, keep by my car for an hour. Yeah, but it's alright though, the city. It's just like I said, it's too expensive over there. If you're able to make it out there, then you're good.
Yeah, the last time I went through New York City was probably, I'm going to say, it's probably 5 or 6 years ago. We were heading up to New England and decided we would, because it was late at night, we were going to go through, and I was going to show my kids New York City because they had never been there. And I figured it's after midnight, it's going to be easy to get through there. I was in a 3-hour backup on the JFK up there, and it was like, oh my God, I couldn't get in the city. It was so much traffic in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You'd be thinking like, oh wow, it's gonna be nice crowd. It's like this.
Yeah.
It never sleeps.
It never sleeps. That's for sure.
Traffic everywhere.
At all times.
The further downtown you get, the more crowded it is. You have to pass like 96th Street in order for you to hit no more traffic. That's why a lot of people that live in Manhattan, like where I live at, they don't drive down to Manhattan because it's just too crowded.
Yep.
You can't get down there. We just take you 1 hour to get from the east side to the west side, and it's only 8 blocks long. But it's 8 long blocks. Like each of those blocks is like 5 city blocks. Because it is side street, you have to go to the side. One lane only, and then you gotta wait because they're trying to turn and you can't turn because you have to wait for the people to cross. Sometimes the car doesn't even move at all; it stays parked at the light. It gets really hectic over there.
Were you in New York when 9/11 happened?
Oh no, I was working in New Jersey when that happened. Man, I regretted that. I was stuck in Jersey for 4 days.
Wow.
They closed the whole bridge. I couldn't get to the city. And I closed everything down for 4 days. I couldn't get in the city. I was working. Just as soon as we crossed the bridge, that's when it happened.
Just all the people all the planes had to be landed, and people that had to go back and forth across the country, rental cars, and it was pretty crazy.
I mean, I saw that when the second plane hit. I saw that. Like, oh wow. It's something that you never expect. Like, even up to now, you really can't comprehend it. That's what actually happened. Actually seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, I just can't believe how long it's been since that happened. It feels like yesterday.
Yeah, it is.
But the whole world has changed over the last 17 years.
Yeah, it changed a lot. It's changed a lot. I don't know if it changed for the good or for the bad.
I don't think we're going to be able to know in this lifetime. The historians will look back and go, it was for the good or for the bad.
Correct. That's like what happened with Pearl Harbor. How were those times? Now with this over here, people want to look for 30, 40 years.
The really weird part for me is that the amount of time that it went from now back to 9/11 is the exact amount of time that it was from when I was born back to Pearl Harbor. And I think that, my parents, it seemed to me as I was growing up that it was a long time before that Pearl Harbor took place.
Correct.
But now, from my perspective now, when I look back on 9/11, it was like yesterday.
Yeah.
And so Pearl Harbor must have been like yesterday to my parents when I was born.
But it's so vivid in your mind.
Right. It is vivid. I remember exactly where I was, what I was doing, how my day progressed. I had a catering business where I delivered donuts to all these different businesses, and the business that I walked into that when I found out that the first building had been hit by a plane was a company called iJet. And iJet was a company that was built around security for people that were flying to other countries to be able to know what's going on in those countries so that they could be safe and not, they would get kidnapping alerts and things like that. It was a company that helped people to travel safely. And they were shell shocked. They said a plane flew into one of the Twin Towers, and I'm thinking it was like a Piper Cub, and somebody just got stupid and hit it.
That's what at first we thought, it was just like a little plane.
Yeah, somebody was trying to sightsee and made a mistake, and then, as I went through, and that second plane hit, and then all anybody was doing was packing up, and as I went through all the different stops that I made, everybody was packing up and leaving and going home. People were freaking out, and then the Pentagon got hit, and then we knew we were under attack, and nobody really knew what was going on after that.
My friend, he was driving by, he was on a bus. He said he literally saw the plane hit the Pentagon. He said, I think came so low, he's just surprised it didn't crash on the ground. I'm like, oh wow. Yeah, you could literally see it. Like the thing was like, it was like actually riding on the ground, like just driving. That's how low that thing was going.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
And it was such a beautiful day that day. It was a Tuesday morning.
Yeah, it was clear.
It was clear as could be. The weather was perfect. Everything was nice, and the whole world changed. All in that moment. Over that 1 hour period.
I guess that's why a lot of people remember. It's just a normal day, like something you would never expect, especially on such a good day.
Yeah. Time flies. It really does. I didn't expect to get to this age this quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we all think like that sometimes. Like, oh, we're getting pretty old.
Well, I just know that it used to be. I remember when I thought 30 was old, and now 80 is it's looking pretty young to me.
Yeah. It all comes on how we feel about it. That's it, how our minds are set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our body may probably be a little old, but as long as our mind are set, young, active, that's all right. I don't mind walking around with crushes, or with a walking on that I'm, I got a good mind, 18, 19-year-old brain. Of course, you can't talk to no young girl walking with a
right,
crush,
but you look in the mirror and you go, "Who's the old guy?"
There you go.
I think it's pretty funny that I don't feel like I went away somewhere and came back an old guy. I feel like the same guy I was when I was 20.
Yeah, that's.
Just don't move as quick.
Yeah. As long as you feel like that, and that's the best feeling one can have. Like you would never get old. So as long as you get that same feeling that you had when you.
No, it's a Chinese bus.
Yeah, the same bus. That's it, the same bus. The
Yep.
bus like that.
That's
La Cubana.
what was that? La Cubana?
Yeah, La Cubana.
Oh, that's the Hispanic bus. We got the Chinese, Hispanic, and we got the both
Well,
bus.
Spanish people don't really drive buses. I just noticed that.
They don't drive buses?
I haven't called like one Spanish people that actually own.
Really?
I mean, you see every Chinese, even Mexicans, but something like a Dominican or Puerto Rican guy. It's like no. I mean, they drive like the van. Those they drive.
Right.
But they go out to Philadelphia, Massachusetts. And their vans, they're pretty crowded too. They're a small van. They be stuffing people in there.
The sardines.
Yeah, my mom, she got us in one of those vans. We was visiting one of my aunt in Pennsylvania. First time traveling in a van like that. Oh man, I had to sit on top of my mom's lap, and my little brother had to sit on top of my lap.
Wow.
Like so many people in that van. Like you could, like every time you hit a bump, you hear the tire.
I hate it when that happens. The axle falls off, goes off into the woods.
Well,
Car just
that happened to us once. We were going to Tucson, Arizona. It was back in '91 in Texas. The whole axle in the van, in my uncle's van, the whole axle just flew off. Like literally just drove off. Like the car, because
wow.
we were sitting and then we just like felt like we just like leaning back, and the car just slowing down as we looking out the window like what's going on. All we just saw is the axle with the two wheels just going right in front. Like oh wow. We didn't even know that was ours. And we pulled over like oh we don't got no tires.
What happened?
I mean literally no tires. Like you didn't even see the nuts.
No rims, no nothing.
Like oh wow. I used to help my uncle to change it, so I'm familiar how that thing looks. But I didn't have anything. The whole axle.
How long did it take you to get out of there? I mean, it's not like you could just change axles.
We had to leave. We left that dump there. Luckily, it was a car dealer about 2 miles away. We went over there, bought a used van. We left that one there stuck. Took the license plate off, and we left.
There
He
you
was
go.
kind of pissed too. He loved that truck, that van. It was like one of those RV vans that had sofa bed on it. Pretty nice. And I'm getting a old cargo van. Well, at least the guy was good enough. He gave us 3 folding chairs to sit on. We didn't have no chair.
Yeah, when I was young, I bought a cargo van. I was doing business out in California, San Jose, and I had moved out there with a company that I was doing sales for, and my father came out and helped me buy my first vehicle. Well, actually, it was my second vehicle, but my first new vehicle. Bought a new cargo van, and I had that for about 10 years. That was a great van. It was a Ford E150.
I was thinking about doing that in my spare time, delivery for Amazon. Like the white car right there, got boxes full of Amazon. Yeah,
is that right? Yeah. That little white one?
Yeah. Like doing deliveries.
Yeah. Does that pay any good, or they? I mean, I've heard good and I've heard bad. I've heard.
In New York City, I was looking at from Amazon. They sent me a link. Like one of my friends, hey, look, Amazon's hiring people. Oh, you become a full-time or part-time driver. Start anywhere between $50 an hour to $25 an hour. They say delivery. I don't know if you have to have your own car or how you do it, but that's what they were talking about. And I speak to a couple of guys that do delivery for them, and most of those people that do delivery, they usually are, they work for FedEx or for UPS. That's just a side job they do for extra money. So they're used to it. I mean, it's good money on it. They say, if you hit the city, you make good money. Because in the city, you could do 100 deliveries just in one building alone. Compared to, like out here, you got houses. If you got 100 deliveries, you got 100 different houses to go drop them off.
Right.
Only in the city, most of the deliveries are going to one place, one building, having like 6, 7 deliveries. In my building alone where I live at, I always get stuff from Amazon and all my neighbors. So usually there's a truck post office right in front of our building bringing stuff in. I'm surprised a lot of people be buying stuff from Amazon nowadays. But Toys R Us already went out of business. They closed down.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew they were going out. They were talking about that for a long time.
That's it. Well, I mean, they already closed down. They're just selling, I guess, the rest of the stuff that they have.
Yeah.
The stores are closing down. The one near my house already closed down. There's like about 2 or 3 of them left in the city. But they're eventually closing down a little bit.
It's a shame, when those old companies, they can't afford to stay in business anymore.
I mean, it is. At the same time, it's kind of hard. But at the same time, I blame just the government. Because everybody here wants to make a profit. Wants to make a profit. Okay, it's not a problem making a profit, but you just want to make a profit, so you go have a saying that I'm a millionaire. I make millions. You make millions. Okay, you make millions and millions and millions. But what are you doing with those millions?
Well, I think Toys R Us, their biggest problem is that they didn't keep up with what was going on. And Amazon was selling toys online in '98. I think it was '98 or '99 that I first bought toys.
Correct.
It could have been a little bit later than that. I was down in Florida, and I would order them online and have them shipped to Florida, so that when we got down there to visit my mother, that we could.
Yeah, stuff be done there already.
We didn't have to carry them.
No, but it's been like that. It's just I don't see it like that. Personally, I see Amazon as being more cheaper than Toys R Us. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't think Toys R Us kept up with it. And if you don't, you either change or you die.
Well, I mean, there was no way they could have compete with Amazon, because they have retailer stores. Amazon doesn't have resale; they just have warehouses. So they don't got to worry about customers coming into the store. They just have a warehouse.
That's true, but what they did have, they had the brick and mortar stores. If they had gone online and sold and had made deliveries from the stores in the areas that they were, then they wouldn't have to have the infrastructure that Amazon has to build in every city to go out. They would have been able to just start right up. And they didn't catch on to that back when the internet first started.
No, it didn't, but it started catching up now, which is why Google Express came in the picture now. So Google Express, might as well just do the same thing that Amazon has done, but instead of us selling something, might as well just deliver for the companies.
Yeah.
So now you got all these companies giving up the same prices almost as Amazon now, with free deliveries, 2 days with Google Express. Yeah, some of the stuff is a little expensive too if you really compare the prices.
Yeah.
If you're not in a rush, then get it online.
Well, we got Amazon Prime, and sometimes I feel like they got a truck just sitting around the corner waiting to deliver this stuff to my house. It's like they're just waiting for you to order. Oh, yeah, John wants something over here.
No, they do have that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but they have it like with the popular stuff. Usually the popular stuff would be like and you go to like mostly like office, like papers,
stuff that people use all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yep.
And so you see trucks, and you see them. It will say Amazon trucks on them. Mm-hmm. No, you see them, and you see them with papers, ink cartridge, and they're constantly running around. You see them running in and out, in and out. So I guess it's just for stuff that people constantly buy all the time. Then you got the small little Amazon truck. There's a special truck that they text you and they tell you exactly where the truck is at, and come, you got some stuff here, pretty good prices.
Yeah.
It's true too. You just gotta make sure you're able to catch up to them. But now you're not the only one getting, like about 100 other people getting the same text messages.
Yeah.
They only have like about 8-9 products there.
I tell you, this is crazy. All this traffic going into 2 lanes.
Crossing the bridge. So?
Yeah, we're going under the tunnel. This is the harbor tunnel right here. Yeah, the other tunnel is 95. It's over there, and then the bridge is way over there. See the bridge? That's the key bridge up there.
No, I came through a tunnel.
Yeah, that's this one.
Yeah, it was kind of busy, like really jammed coming over there.
Yep.
Going over there was no problem. I'm kind of surprised you had to way around that.
Well, this tunnel is, sometimes it gets backed up pretty good, but most of the time it's, people use the 95 tunnel over there more than they use this one, I think. But it's funny because when you're north of Baltimore, as soon as you come inside the Baltimore Beltway, you can either go 895 or 95. If you go 95, it comes around and goes closer to the city. If you go 895, it goes all the way down through here on this side and then catches up with 95 on the outside of the Beltway on the south side. So they meet, they both split off, and then they come back and they meet all the way on the other side of Baltimore.
Well, I guess it's about the same way. I mean, like in Manhattan, you got the west side and the Henry Hudson Parkway. They're going all the way around Manhattan.
Right.
So I guess they do it.
Yeah, so if there's an accident or something like that, you've always got an alternative way to go. And then there's the Beltway that goes all the way around this way. So 895 and 95 come kind of down through the city and meet on the other side. And then the Beltway just circles around. It's a big belt, big loop.
Yeah, me personally, I don't drive, so I wouldn't be familiar how the road works. I mean, I drove before, just not a person that would like to drive. But,
You just don't like driving, or?
No, I just don't like driving. I mean, I had cars before. I don't have a license, but you know, I had cars, you know, driving in the neighborhood, stuff like that. I just never got the hang of it of driving. The way I see it, just people want to drive around, just want to hang out.
Well, once they change from a steering wheel to a controller or a mouse, you'll be fine.
Oh no, trust me, that's what
See, if this is how you drove the car with this right here, you'd be fine.
It's real complicated. Well, everybody, you know, is different, bro. I never got the hang of it of just driving. I mean, I could drive. I mean, it's not like I'm scared to drive, but just I don't see myself like driving. It's a lot of input, especially when you're in a lot of traffic. If I lived in New York, I wouldn't want to drive either.
Yeah,
well, I guess it's because of that being you living over there, you know, I mean, I've been to a couple accidents over there, you know. Well, not big accidents, like people just bump you in the back or in the fender, like
right.
Little things. But nothing major. It's just being out there, like, what's the point of having a car?
Yeah. Yeah, well, down in this area, in the area that I live in, you can probably get away without needing a car now that Uber's around. And depending on how much you go around or where you have to go for your job, it's probably about the same either way on how much you're going to spend every month. If you buy a new car, if you buy a used car, you might be able to get away a little cheaper. But if you have a nice car and it's a relatively expensive, it's going to be more than it would cost you to do an Uber, unless you travel a lot. So things are changing. I think Uber has changed the face of transportation forever. I just saw a thing where they're doing truck driving now. They're doing loads, where Uber gets the loads, and if you have your own truck.
No, they've been doing that.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Uber's doing a lot of things.
I know they have Uber jets and helicopters, right?
Well, what you have to look is for Uber pilots. That's what it's for. Uber pilots. It's stuff that they test out temporarily to see how it works.
Right.
They may not have it here, maybe in the city or the States, but they will have it try that out in London or one of the other countries out there.
Yeah, they're doing something in Denver. They're trying this new pilot program, and I'm not sure what it is, but
they'll be coming up with a lot of stuff. Just test the water, see how it works. Of course, you don't want to test it out in a big city, get everybody used to it, and you end up cutting it off. It's not gonna work out. So test it in a small little city. I just see them as they just do something temporary, see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, they just drop it.
Yep. I wasn't sure if Uber Eats was gonna work, but it seems to be working.
Well, it's working, but at the same time, you're thinking about dropping it too. Talking about it. Uber Eats, they were just planning to do more like Uber delivery now.
Yeah.
So instead of just having a regular messenger pick up your food, but a regular cab, they pull me and pick this up, just drop it off this and that's it.
Yeah.
You even gotta get up, pick up, they'll come outside with you. They doing that now. With it. That's what they call it. Like your groceries,
They've got a service called Peapod. It's in connection with Giant Food here. And Peapod, you can go on Peapod and order whatever groceries you want, and they'll deliver right to your house. Yeah. That is pretty cool.
But in local places?
I think Peapod may be national. They've been around for a long time.
No, but I mean the products that they get to your house all over.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's from the local store.
All right, good. See, that's one thing with Amazon. Amazon is not local.
Yeah, well, they're local to right here.
Yeah.
Amazon's. Where is it? I think it's right here on the right. That big building. I think that's it. Yep. Look at the size of that. No, that's. I'm not sure if that's Amazon or. I know that the building is right around here. I'm not sure if that's it right there. It is huge. Yes, logistics. That's. I can't remember. I've driven past it, and I just can't remember where it was that I saw it. But it is back in. It's either that side or this side.
Looks like they're going to the last side. Big warehouse there. Big warehouse.
Yeah.
This thing they got one in 24th Avenue, and they got the whole building. I mean, I didn't even know it was Amazon.
Yeah.
Only when you find out, when you walk into a side street, you see everybody, all the Amazon people outside with the boxes.
Yep. Already got another ride. Look at that. Yeah, not too bad. It's not that far. I didn't even see where it was. They give you the rides now before you have the other ride. But now that it's this late, I'm probably going to be in this area for the next few hours.
So being that you got this alert for a ride, is it just letting you know that somebody wants a cab?
No, they've requested it and then they've got me.
Oh, okay. So they're telling you personally to go
Yep.
come up. Oh, that
Yep.
that works out.
Yep.
I just thought they just alert you like, okay, listen, we got somebody here that needs a cab.
Yeah, it's close by, and it's already in my queue. So once I drop you off, I'll immediately get directions to go to them, and they're just a few blocks down that way.
Well, yeah, they couldn't be no more than 10 minutes away from
And I'm sure they're going to take me right back into the city. So that's where I go when I'm here. I bounce around between Fells Point, Canton, Fed Hill, and Johns Hopkins. There's just these 4 places, and it's bing, 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 bing. And then occasionally you get one outside of the city, but not that often.
As long as you constantly
3 to 6
picking up
p.m.
fares.
All right, I cannot turn left here, so I have to go down and do a U-turn.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the street.
So I'm going to turn around. Actually, turn right here.
Yeah, if that was the street, then you could see what I mean. It's just deserted there.
Yeah.
That's where the bus just come and drop you off.
So we'll just do a little turn around here in the BJ's and the GPS doesn't even know that I can't make that left-hand turn there, but it's only from 3 to 6 p.m. There's no left. 7 to 9 a.m. and 3 to 6 p.m.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people get caught on that. And they say, oh, no left turning, but GPS says go ahead and make a left.
Yep.
Then they get a ticket. So, oh, the GPS, oh, sorry. Take it on Google with that.
Come on, people. Just make it past them. Just go. You can do it. Got a green arrow. I'm just going to go down to that street and go back. Because it's...
Well, most likely he's going to end up being around the corner. So.
Yeah, it just got me going right there. That's all. So that's kind of weird, though. It's just... That's out in the middle of nowhere? Is there a bus stop or something?
I just gotta see a bus that comes by, a whole bunch of people standing there. That's when
What time is the bus coming? Do you know?
5:30.
5:30. It's
Yeah.
only 4 o'clock.
That's all right. Luckily, I put the 5:30. We're gonna put the 7 o'clock one. There's only 2 buses leaving at 5 and 7 o'clock.
Is there a place for you to wait?
Well, I'm not sure. For me, personally, I mean, as long as I'm nearby, I could take a walk anyway. I just want to make sure I'm near the area. I was going to just take the bus from all the way over there, but I'm not too familiar. According to the schedule, saying, oh, the bus be there at 3:45. I mean, 45 minutes I got to wait out here for the bus. Then the bus would have got here at 5:20 exactly, and the bus leaves at 5:30. That is, if there's no traffic. Knowing how the traffic now, that must have never been here.
Man, this is crazy. How are you supposed to get out of here? I'm gonna go now. Gotta be bold. And we turn left right here, and it should be right there. Now, what is this? No left turn? You gotta be kidding me.
Alright, but it's no problem. I'll go get off right here because I'm going right there. So it's no problem. I'll just get off right here.
You know what? I'm just gonna make this left turn.
I want you to get a ticket.
No. They can't make it impossible to get somewhere going one particular. If you keep turning around this way, you can't get there.
Well, I mean, that's true. You did want to turn around just to avoid it, and you still can get it.
I'm in a left-hand turn lane. Anyway, so. I think this guy's not going to be able to. Whew. I'll be all right. There's nobody behind me. And there's nobody after this guy. All right, so it's on the right or the left, do you know?
Well, it's got to be somewhere over here.
It's coming right up. Looks like it's just past this.
So what is it? We're standing here. And you're waiting for the bus.
All right, I hope this is it.
Yeah, it should be it. Yeah. He left me off over there.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Wow, that's weird. It was a real pleasure meeting you.
Same here.
All right.
Appreciate it.
And thanks for being on my show. Check out my card and see.
Definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah. You'll be able to watch this most of the ride up.
Yeah. On the tonight you put it on, right?
Yeah, you can go to Twitch